to the Bronx was, like I said, it was scary as fuck at first, man. So, you know, when we first moved up there, I attempted to try to still go to school down in PS 57 in Harlem, man. And being right back, I'm gonna jump right back to PS 57. Thinking about some of the shit that we, you know, it was some scary shit. It was some scary shit. It was a time where it was heroin was crazy. So it was fucking junkies and dope fiends everywhere, man, nodding out and shit. We kids and shit, you know. And I remember that same park playground, the same in the back of the school, PS 57. You got to go back to that episode of season 1. I remember this teacher, man. I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know if she was. Now I'm older. It looked like, now that I'm older, and I realize it looked like her and this other teachers was either flirting with each other. It was two ladies either flirting with each other or some shit. Basically, they was, and we were out there for recess. They kept telling us to go. You know, like, basically go play. Come on, man. Stay away from us. I don't know what the fuck was some weird shit. I was a kid, so I can't really guarantee. It was some shit. It was some shit they was trying to do. So these, and I'm gonna call them bitches. Fuck it. These bitches had us fucking go tell us we have found needle, fucking hypodermic dope shit. You know, syringe. So we brought it to her. And then this bitch is gonna tell us to go see who can find the most. Now, this is before AIDS and all that, but I'm just saying, to have these fucking grown-ups telling us that we fucking 7, 6, 7, 8, you know, the 9, the oldest, but to go find fucking syringes, and whoever find the most syringes wins. The fuck out of here, man. While y'all flirt. Come on, man. You know what I mean? So, that was just crazy shit. It's just sue the Board of Education for that bullshit. Kind of dumb shit is that, man. Then they would show us these fucking movies. Now, it was supposed to stop you from doing drugs. You know what I mean? Now, once again, it was 2nd, 3rd grade. They're showing us these movies and shit. Now, they probably should have, to me, we were too young to be seeing these movies. The movies showed you basically how to do fucking drugs, right? They showed how you wrap it was talking to heroin, they showed you how you wrap your shit, how you wrap your fucking arm with that rubber band, big rubber shit, shoot the fuck up, put it in a cap, melt. They showed this shit. We're fucking kids in Harlem, right? We're fucking in the 2nd, 3rd grade watching a movie that whoever the Board of Education, whoever put this shit out, we're watching this shit that shows you how to fucking do drugs. I'm telling you what the fuck I watched, man. I'm not fucking nuts, man. You know what I'm saying? Then they showed, and it was trying to say, it was basically showing, I guess, the adults or whoever the signs to look for, and then they was talking about weed. And you'll find seeds and pockets, and I remember all this shit. And then I remember us playing this shit. I remember us playing I remember this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy, man, to have that type of shit at a young age, man, to just throw in you. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just crazy. So I don't know if it was done deliberately. I don't know if it was a bad call, a bad judgment, you know, but it was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing, and I mentioned that again, we had black books, right? We had these books. All the characters, all the people in the books were black people. They talked about invention, all the black inventions, all of that. Everything black history you could possibly name, we were taught, right? And once again, PS 57, 115th Street, James Weldon Johnson. Then one day they just came in and took these books. Boom. We had to pass them up. They just took the books, man. Next thing I know, we get other books, and they got white people in them. Now, we're not really noticing. It's there's nothing to say, oh, it was because we didn't know we were that young, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I don't know what the fuck was behind that. And I remember A couple of teachers quit. It was. I wish I had. I don't want to make up shit. I wish I could really remember what was behind that shit, or what happened to that shit. But it was just crazy, man, to deal with that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump to the Bronx shit. So I was trying to take the train, and eventually, it didn't work out, man, because I would get up early. My sister kept going. So then I started going to PS21 on White Plains Road, man, in like 220 something, with 223rd or 222nd, right there. But anyway, that was my 225th and shit. So that was my shit, and that's when I moved to 223rd Street between Laconia and Paulden. That's where I got introduced to Jamaicans. Now, I when I'm in Harlem, it probably was, or maybe one of my mom's friends might have opened up, or somebody that worked with her, but I don't know. I'm 10 years old, but this is where the block I lived on, it was mixed, but it was a heavy Jamaican influence. So that's where I start hearing music, you know what I mean? And me and my homie Greg, because we grew up on the same block, and once again, Pumpkin lived on Laconia, and there was a big church right there. So you would hear Pumpkin jamming out, you would hear the Jamaicans who lived in my man Greg's building, like on the third floor, they will be, or the second, one of them, second floor, they will be jamming. So we were little kids, we riding like, me and Greg was little as fuck, man. We riding 10 speeds, big bikes and shit, and people used to trip on us, man, because our feet would barely touch the shit. We couldn't even sit on the seat and ride it. We couldn't sit on the seat and ride it, but that was the block, man. You know what I mean? This police officer lived up there, Officer Scott, who turned out, some wild shit. But this motherfucker. Yo, so it was just crazy. It was a good block, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I started learning more about the Jamaican culture and hearing them, that blood clot shit, and we saying that shit. And then this one, I forgot his name, but he used to make these bikes, these fixed bikes. And he had fixed my bike because I had my gears or something messed up. He was like, I'll make you a fix. And he cut the chain and did some shit. But he was explaining to me that people we can't be running around just saying blood clot because we don't know what the fuck we're saying. You know what I'm saying? How foul that shit is to just say that shit to somebody. And he broke it down, what that shit means. So, and people probably know now, but a lot of people really don't know. You really insulting somebody, you be calling them that shit, man. That's some nasty fucking shit to call somebody a blood clot, right? So basically, or Ross clot, or pussy clot, bumper clot, any of that shit. Basically, what they're telling you, right? So they're not saying blood clot, like a blood clot you have. They're not calling you that. The originator of that shit they're not saying that to you. What they're calling you is basically a fucking sanitary napkin, basically. All right? So they're saying a blood cloth is what they're saying. So they're basically calling you something that when women menstruate, they wipe, that's what they're calling you. The pussy cloth, same shit. The Roz cloth, same shit. A cloth you wipe your ass with. So you calling people some foul bullshit. You calling people pussy clot, Roz clot, your blood clot, your idiot boy, your man. So that's where, that shit. So from that, it was just crazy time. So I went to 21. Me, Greg, Sister Troy. We was off the chain, man. We was just wilding out and shit. So then graduated. And I think I was in 21 for like 3 months, but I just was, and that's the first place where I had never did improv, and it was crazy because it just happened. It was auditorium assembly, and I can't even remember none of the teachers' names. This is 21, and it was this thing where they wanted volunteers to do this thing where they give you a scenario and you just act it out. Boom. Never even heard of improv. I don't even know if they called it that. They might have. But it was about being stuck in the elevator. So it was me, this other girl, who was beautiful, Margaret, and some other people. And we went on stage and did it. And we were like, acting it out. And then I said, I just started, I want my mommy or some shit like that. And the fucking whole auditorium just fell out. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I started saying other shit, and I started getting a response, man. And I'm like, damn. So that improv shit was natural. And I think that comes with the part of freestyle shit, where I think all of that comes with the part of having to adapt to situations, having to build a defense from the bullying shit. Say, for instance, I'm a kid and I run into certain shit. I got to be able to act right there. I can't be, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a defense mechanism that I had to build in order to survive in fucking New York. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense. So I had to always be able to, boom. You know what I mean? You can't be stuttering, fucking around. You got 8 niggas right there getting ready to fuck you up. You better come up with some shit to get out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the improv shit was beautiful, man. It was timing, and then I was basically like one of the class clown type shit. You know what I mean? So it was just good growing. Once I settled in and realized the Bronx wasn't, I was going, it wasn't like, they're going to fuck you up, you know what I'm saying? Because you was in this game, you know what I'm saying? So once I graduated 21, I went to Oldville, you know what I mean? And Oldville was the shit, and, it just, boom, Oldville was Oldville, you know what I mean? Sousa was Oldville was Oldville. Sousa was, go to Sousa, so I didn't really want to go to Sousa, so like Oldville, boom. And then, now here's the weird shit with the bullying shit. So after I beat up the original bully, who talked everybody in the whole 5th grade into jumping me and shit, I became like the motherfucker. So I started doing shit, like having people do my homework, all kind of shit. So I brought that. This is still in Harlem. I even had this one girl, she volunteered to do my homework. And I'm like, yo, whatever. And she just kept doing it, that shit. She kept doing it. And I ain't never say nothing. And then her dad came to school, yo. It was like, yo, her hand is cramped. And I didn't make her, man. I want you to think like, yo, yes, I felt fucking fucked up. So then I went now I'm becoming the bully. So I get to 21, and I don't know why I was picking on this dude, man, for some reason. I'm still little. This dude was way bigger than me, man. Big dude. I don't know, I was fucking with him. And I had made him, I'm like, yo, I didn't want a big bag. I had made him a list of shit I wanted him. I started extorting him out of nowhere. Wild shit. I don't know what the fuck I was on, man. So I made him a list. I want a bag of big bag, not no little shit. And he brought them shits the next day. So we eating them shits, man. I gotta ask my homie if you remember that shit. And then the next day I said, yo, I want this, that, and that. And then he did, but he came with his mom. Yeah. Guys, check it. I'm so sorry, man. It can change, y'all. Listen. So he came with his mom because he had took money from his mom's purse to buy this extra big shit. So his mom's like, yo, you better be. Snip like, yo. His mom's is like, yo, you better beat him. So now I gotta fight, and the dude's bigger than me, yo. So boom, we fighting and shit. Then I caught him, bam, caught him right there. This shit swole up, man. And I was like, damn. But then he got me, you know what I'm saying? And he could beat my ass. I know he was big, dude. But but he became cool. And then that's when, so from that, then I went to Olinville, did the same shit, man. I was bullying this dude. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, these other dudes fucked him up in the staircase. And that kicked me out of Olinville, man. fucking expel me. I got kicked out. And that's why I ended up going to Sousa and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Sousa, and at that time we had moved, so it kind of worked out. We had moved from 223rd Street to Baychester, between Edenwald and Bussing, right? So like Sousa's right down on Baychester, right? So I'm like, all right, John Philip Sousa, 142. So boom, that's where I met. So it was seventh grade, like the middle or whatever. Because no, it was right at the kind of beginning, because we did that shit like in September, October in Olaville to get kicked out. So Sousa, man, that's where I met Rob Ishmael, Robbie Rock with the Hello My Mellow Ron, Ernest, Glenn, who the first cat I went to the T Connection with, Neil, just, you know, we had our little crew, you know what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of shit changed as well. So around the ninth grade, so you got 1977, or 1976, when this actually happened. Yeah, because, so one night I lived on Baychester and shit, and this is where every fucking thing changed. This is where I just changed, man. And as I'm older, I realize, I see how this affected me major. This shit was crazy. So one night, I'm outside walking my dog. We had a German Shepherd and shit, a big German Shepherd, Cappy. So I'm walking him and I see these three dudes. Now they have, like this, used to be these cadets, they used to have these wooden rifles. So they had one of those with them. You know, I see them, three of them. They walking up Baychester on that side, I'm walking down, boom. So then I'm upstairs in my room about 10, 15 minutes later, and then I hear this commotion in my yard. So I look out my window and I see this dude ducked down behind my bushes. So I'm like, yo. So I'm looking, and then across the street, he's like, call the cops, call the cops. Across the street is another dude who's standing there, and then there's this white man. And I recognized the white man as one of my neighbors, Patrick, who owns So Fat. So as I'm looking, I see the neighbor pull out the gun, and he shoots the dude. Pow, pow. The dude drops, and he shoots him again. Pow, pow. So I'm tripping. I start run from my room. I'm yelling to my sister, my parents, yo, this man, he's just shot. You know, I'm bugging the fuck out. The dude in my yard, we call the cops, you know, boom, cops come. It's the wildest shit, man. Wildest fucking shit. I just saw my fucking neighbor shoot this dude. And then shoot him again while he's down. I'm bugging, man. Bugging the fuck out, man. So the dude, I believe his name was Mark, man, rest in peace. So we cross the street, and I see the body, I see all of that. I see it was a cassette tape, because back then we had cassette tapes. We were making, you know, what it is. And it's crazy. Now, the dude who shot him, my neighbor, owned this bar. He was an Irish guy, owned this bar that all the cops hung out. So, his name was Patrick. He had kids. So, he claims that he saw them attempting to steal this bike around the corner. It was chained up. So that's when he confronted them. They ran. He got out of his car. Boom, shot him. So, now they come witness, you know, the investigators. They got my name, they know. So I'm telling them what I saw, boom. You know what I mean? Now I can't sleep and all, I'm bugging out. So now I'm having problems sleeping because I keep seeing this. I'm probably 13 at this time, 12 or 13, because I was always a class ahead. So I was always younger than everybody in my class. So this shit is just replaying in my fucking head, man. I can't even walk on that side of the street. Like when I get to coming home from school, I gotta cross, because you can still see the, it was just fucked up, man, for me to witness that shit. But then the double dose of the fucked upness was when it came time for this cat to go to trial. So I was a witness, so I saw the whole shit. The guy didn't lunge at him. He was like this, and he shot him twice. Then we fell, and he shot him 2 more times. He didn't grab at him. He didn't have no weapon. He didn't have nothing. Nothing. He gave up. I saw it. So then one night, or one day, there's a knock on the door. And it's New York City police. It's 2 or 3 of them. So I hear them talking, to my dad. And I hear my dad say, "Are you threatening me?" And blah, 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 blah. I heard it. I know what I heard. And Dad said, "Nah, I know what I heard." And then they closed the door. Boom. Then my dad comes to me and tells me that I'm going to go testify. I'm going to tell him exactly what you told me you saw. Now, I don't know why. I don't know what he was protecting me for. I don't know if these cops, in my opinion, these cops must have threatened. I don't know. They had to say some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't get to testify. And they found this motherfucker not guilty, yo. He found this motherfucker not guilty, man. And carried that shit. Still. Even though my family, even though people were coming up to me, why you didn't, you saw it, and it was a bad call, man. So from that, the dude caught his hell, his family, the whole family left him. He had like 2 sons and a daughter. They moved out, boom, the wife left him. Yeah, I think he ended up passing away after that. So it's not like, but still, me not fucking testifying, man, that shit was major. So then, that's where it spiraled to one day, classmate Lisa, I know I was talking about not being able to sleep. And I had smoked weed before in Boston, and that's a whole nother episode, but not really smoke. And me and I went and blazed out in the staircase and shit. And I was like, oh shit, And then from there, the next day, I was able to find some loose joints from Eric with the ski suit, double paper shits. And then from that, start buying my own shit. And then that was what was helping me sleep. That was medicating me. That was taking my mind away from that nightmare of seeing that actual shit.